That quest for answers about last year's attack on the U.S. Capitol brings more subpoenas. So far, subpoenas that haven't been responded to. No changes in operation at the Iowa Capitol as more state lawmakers test positive for COVID-19 and employees in the Capitol. And the new Republican in the race for Illinois governor might be the party's chosen one. We'll get to that this morning with Iowa Republican Party Chair Jeff Kaufman and Scott County Democratic Party Chair Matt Trimble. Great to see you both. Let's get right to it. I know you're both Iowa people, but we will start with Illinois. Republican Richard Irvin made quite a splash this week when he joined the party's primary race for governor. A day later, the mayor of Aurora showed off a list of 60 endorsements that includes the Illinois House Minority Leader, and potentially billionaire donor Ken Griffin signaled he could get behind the campaign. That would bring big money. Party leaders weren't excited about the field to challenge Governor J.B. Pritzker until now. And Irvin could be able to raise more money than the other Republicans, including Jesse Sullivan, who has millions. Now, it seems like Irvin instantly became the party's establishment choice. Jeff, I want to start with you. How risky is something like this, and what kind of challenge does he pose to J.B. Pritzker? Because we know money can, and especially in primary, can stifle out the competition. Jeff?
Oh, sure. I'm excited about Mr. Irvin, and I got to tell you, even if it's across the river, we're looking at who could carry the banner of Republicanism, who would be a good GOP candidate in general. What's good for the Illinois Quad Cities as a Republican is good for the on the Iowa side. And I'm excited. And here's the thing: yes, money does matter, but Mr. Irvin's story is very, very compelling. I mean, it's a story of a person with working class roots, a person that clearly, to use an overused cliche, but in this case I think accurate, feels our pain, and a person that represents the diversity that I think our party was founded on. So I'm excited for the Illinois Republicans, and I'm excited for Republicans in general that he's in the race.
Matt, I kind of reminded about what happened maybe a couple of years ago in Iowa for the United States Senate primary when the Democratic establishment got behind Teresa Greenfield to kind of stifle out competition. People like Michael Franken, who's running again, and Teresa Greenfield might not have been the best candidate. Maybe that the party can sometimes put the cart before the horse. Matt?
Well, I think the party's learned from that, and a primary is a good thing. But frankly, I'm focused on the 2022 midterm, and all I can really say about Illinois is they're doing things right, and under Democratic leadership with Governor Pritzker, the bond rating has improved significantly, and they're paying their bills and they're caring for working families. The governor is critical to the well-being of all working families. But here in Iowa, we've got our own problems with the governor, and she's turned her back on families and gutted education and vilifying teachers. Some things that the state leader shouldn't do. So focused on winning that seat back.
All right, well, I just want to focus on that one issue related to Michael Irvin, but we'll see how that unfolds, and primaries certainly do tell a story, and we'll see how that plays out. Now, it is business as usual at the Iowa State Capitol. No changes in operations after 5 people at the Capitol tested positive for COVID-19 since the legislative session started last week. That includes a couple of state senators. The number could be higher. That's because there is no requirement to report if you test positive. Of course, we know there's no rule to wear a mask. Republicans say people can be trusted to come forward with that information. Republican hero Ronald Reagan liked to say, trust but verify. Well, this approach is trust without verifying. Why not be more cautious when it comes to the health of the people who actually lead the state? Matt?
Well, of course, they all got COVID because they're sitting ducks. We're in Iowa. We're not required to, divulge, our situation with a vaccination. We can work next to people who are carrying it, and there's just no obligation to protect each other's freedom from being sick. So, again, it's back to our governor and wanting to win that seat back. So working families in Iowa can have health protections, a very basic thing.
Jeff, what about just common sense, being cautious about something like that? We don't want Republicans or Democrats to get sick.
Well, first of all, the governor has nothing to do with whether they wear masks in the Capitol, because that's a decision by the legislative leaders. But the Supreme Court spoke pretty clearly, and that is that mandates are not necessarily constitutional. In that case, we're talking about a vaccine. We have HIPAA violations across the board when you're asking people to divulge personal medical information. And, in terms of sitting ducks, the situation, I have a son that teaches right now. He masks all the time. He's vaccinated, had the booster, and he and his wife both have COVID. So I don't know that sitting duck would necessarily be the appropriate response. we do believe that people will make the right decisions here, and it's just a simple philosophical difference. Republicans believe that we should be very, very careful of mandates and health information and trust in people. The Democrats evidently believe otherwise.
But why does it have to be philosophical, Jeff? Why isn't it just like, let's try to just be healthy for everybody and just do it?
Because there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to medical. I mean, I just explained, Jim. I have a son that never goes anywhere without a mask, and he has COVID. I rarely wear a mask. I've never had COVID. Thank God. But my point is not necessarily whether you should wear a mask or shouldn't wear a mask. My point is that the government shouldn't be telling you what to do. And I think, we've had an election in between the time when this decision was made at the Capitol and today. And in that, the Republicans won overwhelmingly, and we won 2 special elections overwhelmingly. So people have had an opportunity to weigh in on this, Jim, and I believe they're with the Republicans on this. But I wish everybody, Republicans and Democrats, the best. And
the Supreme Court kind of was a split decision on the whole mandate thing. But those of you watching at home, we've run out of time for this segment. We're going to bring the rest of it to you online at ourquadcities.com. Matt Trimble, Jeff Kaufman, stand by, and we will get to that issue relating to the January 6th committee investigation online at ourquadcities.com. We also have a little more of our conversation with Abby Finkenauer there as well. Now our question of the week: what do you think about the role big money plays in political campaigns? Send your answer by email to fortherecord@whbf.com or respond to this post on Facebook at the local 4 News WHBF TV page or on my page.